Wearing a cross as a Christian, wooden crosses, metal crosses, as necklaces or charm, accessories in that sense. Many Christians ask this question because they are unsure about it, and there's a reason why they are unsure, because it is wrong to do this. Then there are other Christians that are furious and they say, well, didn't Jesus die on the cross? Isn't it a symbol for the Christian faith? But then, let me tell you that even Satanists, they wear crosses. And then these Christians say, well, but they have a different intention. But our intention is good with wearing a cross. And it stands for Jesus. But then you have to go to Scripture and hold close to the Scripture that in many cases, in the Old Testament as well as in the New Testament, Jesus proves that there is no power in carved idols, whether that's wood or handcrafted with metal. There is no power in this. So when usually what lukewarm Christians do is they wear these crosses because they think it gives them some kind of power. And that's the problem. They wear crosses because they think it protects them. So they give this item, this idol, some spiritual powers that when they wear it, they think this power is translated to them. And that's a problem. That's false belief. Okay, because you're worshipping a creation, a man-made creation of some sort, not the Spirit. But we're called to worship the Spirit, the Father in heaven. Okay, that's the truth. So nothing that you add to your body in the sense of necklaces or rings or whatever, that's paganism. Okay, you can add nothing to your body that gives you spiritual power. The Spirit is within the body. Okay, the body is the temple of God. The Spirit of God dwells in the body. So there you find it. Okay, through your spirit you find the Spirit of God. You cannot add anything from outside to your body. And we're not even talking about some brain chips, that stuff is coming soon. That they're gonna sell you as, oh, you're gonna be so much more powerful, in that sense. But people have to really be aware and careful about this. It's a false worship. People call it, in German there's a word for this which is called Aberglaube. It's a false belief. For example, with athletes you have this. They have routines when they enter the stadium or they enter the pitch. It's a false belief. They think that this gives them power somehow, They source their power from these things, and it may give them some sort of safety, security, or whatever, but it's a false belief. And it's a very low kind of spiritual power. It may actually give them something, I'm not saying that it doesn't give them anything. Obviously it's strong enough to make them believe in it, but it's a deception. Okay, that's how powerful Satan in that sense is. It's just one small part of how Satan, the power of darkness, can deceive people with false belief. That they wear certain crosses, or they wear other things like rings, for example, or they tattoo them into their skin, because then they think that that's some sort of spiritual power. Okay, or it makes them powerful, it protects them, but that's wrong. That's false belief. Nothing that you add to your body can protect you, okay, spiritually. Of course, if you're working in construction, you will use something, you will wear certain clothes that protect your body, okay? It's not about this. A cross is not protecting you in this way, right? Except you're holding it right in front of your heart and somebody is trying to stab you right there, then your cross may actually protect you, physically. But we're really talking about spiritual and religion. You know, people, they give these things religious sense and meaning. That's the point. That's the false religion. That's the problem with all of this. And when Jesus says, take up your cross and follow me, that's a metaphor. Metaphorically speaking, about what faith means, walking by faith means. You go all in, so to say, for God, for a higher purpose, just like Jesus did. Jesus took up a literal cross, physical cross, and had to be crucified for a bigger cause, for a higher cause, and he did not shy away, he did not flee, he went with it, because it was for God. It was to glorify God in heaven. That was the purpose. He recognized the purpose, and that's why he went for it. And many martyrs followed him, taking up their cross, and followed him. Literally. But not every Christian will be crucified, okay? That's also a utopian world, if you believe that. But it can happen, you know? It happened back in the day. Today they will have different things, different execution methods, but it can happen. If Jesus says, take up your cross, it has nothing to do with a literal cross, especially these days. You know, nobody is crucified in this way anymore, not that we know of, maybe behind closed doors or whatever, right? But it's a metaphor. It has nothing to do with necklaces, with wooden crosses that you get, that you usually pay for. You know, people, they carve these things, they get paid for these things, okay? They made a business out of this. You have to understand, they live off of the fact that people believe that these crosses are worth anything, that they are valuable, but it's a false belief, it's a trickery, it's deception. Your belief should come, or should go towards heaven, not something from earth. Your belief should not go to perishable things, but to eternal things, and that is the truth. That is the Father in heaven, the creator of this creation. So whatever you use that is perishable, and these are usually called idols, that people have carved, or you yourself have carved, and you believe in that, and you think, oh, that gives you spiritual powers, that's a very pagan thing. It's paganism right there. They have all kinds of statues and idols that they use for ceremonies, for their worship. Okay, and they think that through these things they gain some spiritual powers, and without these things they basically can't exist. They are not protected. They usually use stones, you know, diamonds as necklaces. They wear these things and they believe in these things. That's esoterics, and it's a false religion. Okay, none of these things will give you true power, because it's outside of you, but the Spirit is within you. That's the power you have to connect to, and that's the power that connects you with truth. And as a side note, if you carry around necklaces, it's basically worshipping the death of Jesus, okay, because that's how he died. Okay, he rose, but the resurrection is important, not the way he was crucified, not the way he was executed, okay? So that's already twisted. The way that earthly churches teach this, of course, we know that they are deceiving people. They keep them lukewarm. They don't even practice what they preach. They don't even practice what the Bible says. You know, they just keep people trapped in these organizations, and other people, rich people, they live off of that. It's that simple. It's deception. And they practice to bow before a cross, to wear crosses, and it's false religion. Okay. And then people that are part of these organizations or outsiders, and they copy these things. They think, oh, that's, when I do this, then I'm super religious. But it's, what they actually do is they are religious egoistically, not in truth, not authentically. They put some garments on, they put some crosses as necklaces or for their ears, something like this, or they tattoo themselves, and they think they're super spiritual, they think they're super religious, when they're not. It's a deception. If you really live by the word, you do the works, right? But usually it's the other way around, where people wear these crosses and they think that it gives them a spiritual powers and like that's how they connect with God. Then they are fooled, they are wrong. So in general, I would say wear no crosses and find the truth through the Spirit, because that's the true way. Jesus did not go around handing out wooden crosses and say, now you're part of me, right? You're part of Jesus. When you follow Jesus through the Spirit, okay, that's how you are part of the church that is actually in heaven. The kingdom is in heaven, but of course there's a group of people on earth that are working towards that, okay, that are living accordingly, and they do usually not wear crosses, the true ones, because also it is linked to a death penalty, Roman death penalty. Do you want to associate with a Roman death penalty that comes from sun worship? Actually, do you even know where crosses come from? It comes out of Egypt. These are the roots of the cross symbol. It has to do with sun worship. And then when you get into this, you realize so many things, so many idols that the Catholic Church is surrounded with, that come out of Egypt, such as the obelisk, okay, right in the middle of St. Peter's Square. So they have so many idols that they bow down before. They have ceremonies, it's all public. They go to statues, they say, oh, that is the statue of Mother Mary, and we worship her. It's all false. But they will never teach you this. They will, by deeds, teach you something else, and you will be led astray through that. Just because you're watching them, you think, oh, that's religion, that's religious, and then you just take on these things, right? You wear those garments, you fall into these traditions, you wear these crosses, you act in a certain way, and then you think you're super religious. But it's all just for public show. They are deceiving the people, and the people fall for it. So, just to conclude, after all I've mentioned, don't wear crosses, because what's important about Jesus is the resurrection, is life, is not death. And the cross is a symbol of death. The cross is not a symbol of life, of resurrection. That comes 3 days after the cross. Okay? So if you want to do anything, then hold on to life, but with the Spirit. Okay? Go into life without anything. Consider yourself naked. That's how we were born, and that's how we go. Okay? That's how we leave this earth. There is no shoe, there is no t-shirt, there is no cloak, there is no earring, there is no nose ring, there is no what else could you do? There is no hat that you can wear, no glove, no nothing you can wear that would get you into the kingdom of heaven. The only thing you can wear is the armor of God through belief. Okay, that's what gets you into the kingdom of heaven. Belief, faith. So, stop seeking spiritual power through perishable things and move your spirit towards eternal things that are heavenly, because there is truth, there is true spiritual power. And then, because you spiritually connect to the truth, your deeds will follow, and you will have no need to wear crosses. That's the point of it all, because you already realize you're part of the truth. You don't need anything else. You don't even need anything to show others what you believe in, because that's another point why people wear crosses, is to just show other people that they're so super religious, and that's already corrupt. You don't need to show other people what you believe in, you just have to do, and then other people see. Okay, through your deeds people see. Jesus says, be the light of the world, like the light of a candle. It is there for others to see, but it doesn't speak, it doesn't have to prove that it is a light. It just is, by deeds. And that's exactly what you can take as a spiritual guidance, to get away from wearing crosses and to always think you need to seek the recognition of people and show them what you believe in, because that's all part of false religion. You don't have to prove anything to people. The only one you have to prove something to, if anything, if you like to call it proof, it's to God. You and God, there is a relationship. Okay, that's true religion. What do people think? That doesn't matter. But people like to wear crosses, so other people think they're super religious. And that's a flaw. That's false religion. That's deception. That's the same as Jesus calls out the Pharisees that sit in the high places in the synagogues and in today's churches, and they go there just to be seen as something. It's very egoistically. It's like they paint this image to other people that they are something when they are not. Oh, I'm so super religious, I go to church. Oh, I wear these garments. Oh, I wear crosses. I pray 1,000 words, I pray publicly to people, right? Lots of prayers with many words. Jesus is not all of this. Jesus isn't any of this. The truth, the way, the truth and life. Just look at the birds and you will find me. Just look at the birds. They don't wear any necklaces to glorify. Or look at a lion. They don't wear these things. Charms, that's what it's called. Necklaces and earrings, and these are charms. It's linked to magic, to deception. That's why women wear these things to deceive men, to seduce men. You see, to deceive them basically into liking them, that's how also fragrances are used, and makeup. It all comes out of Egypt actually, and mythology, out of Greek. That's how fragrances, for example, were perfected through the Greek era. And in today's world, they make money. It's a huge business to them. People take their security, their confidence out of wearing fragrances, wearing necklaces, wearing earrings, wearing certain shoes, wearing certain clothes. It's a false religion. It's a cult. It's a culture. It's promoted because other people, just a few people, get rich from this. Because you're wearing all the products, you're buying all the products first. Other people get rich from this. They are fooling you. It's a deception. Truth and spirit is within you, not out there. You cannot go into a shop and get some spirit, buy some spirit tonight at the oil station. That's not gonna happen. Okay? Same with love. That's what they always say. You can't buy love. Or money can't buy you love, true love. Right? Then listen, take it as a statement that is truthful, and hold to it and see the wisdom in it and translate it to your daily life the way I have shown you right now. All of these things that people surround themselves with gives them confidence. They think that they cannot go outside anymore just without having any fragrance on. They would feel super uncomfortable if they are not maked up, you know, like some women, they put 3 centimeters of layers on their faces, and that's the only way they can leave the house. It's a false religion. It's not true confidence, okay? It's something that they put on that gives them confidence to then do what they want to do, okay? That's not truth. And many people suffer these things. They take their confidence out of whatever cars they have, right? Whatever brands of clothes they wear, whatever houses they sleep in, and it gives them confidence. And basically what they're doing is slave for these things then. They work so hard for these things because they draw their confidence out of this. If they would lose all of these material things, where is their confidence? They lose also their confidence with it, because they worship the creation, they worship these material things, when we are called to worship the Creator, which is the Spirit that is within everybody, but not everybody realizes it. So realize it. So realize it now. Go into your room, as Jesus always teaches. Go into your room. Figure it out. Don't let anybody tell you anything. Okay? Figure it out. Figure out what is truth. What is true. Are you only confident if you wear certain shoes? Then you have yourself there, you got yourself, you caught yourself, okay? That's a good thing. Then you can realize this and say, well, can I be confident without these shoes? How can I get there, you know? And that's where you connect to the truth, to the Spirit that is within you, truly. Or if you can't leave the house without makeup, if you can leave the house without fragrance, and you're thinking, oh, the people are gonna think of me, oh, I'm not really shaved, you know, all of these things, they are very perishable things, but people's minds are completely full of this, you see. And I'm not blaming them, it's not necessarily their fault, because there's this whole system around them that makes money off of this, and they will keep them in this darkness. But what I'm telling you is that you have the power to free yourself from this. The power is within you, the Spirit is within you, and there's the truth.